When should a man start making 100K?
I say at the ripe age of 18, you are out of your household, and if you have a girlfriend at the time, you should provide for your woman. I am a firm believer in that women should not work and that women's rights suck. So that men should provide for women, and I should not work my life, ever.
I'm gonna say the opposite. I think realistically, a man should make 100K around like 27. I feel like that's a good age. 27 to 33, 35.
Well, let's backpedal a little bit, because what you said was kind of crazy. You don't think that's delusional at all?
I have my delulu moments, but also I do not want to work. So a man should make 100K by the time that I'm dating him, so I don't have to work ever.
Has the past guys that you've dated made 100K?
The past guys that I have dated have been 2 inches shorter than me and have $0 in their bank account. But now I am aiming high. Now I'm aiming high, and I have a boyfriend who has drive and motivation and can supply for himself and myself.
So, a lot of people are sharing this. It's got several million views. Now, the interesting thing is that you can't really tell if this is what they're actually thinking. I mean, one of those ladies seems to be a little bit intoxicated, like she almost fell on top of the guy with the microphone. So it's also possible that, you know, they're cheeky little shits when the microphone is up and they're saying delusional things. It's kind of like when a man says, oh yeah, I want this 20-room mansion and this expensive sports car. You know, like a person can dream. Whether or not that is what they want or what they will actually get is a different thing. Like you can see that she says, oh yeah, like I want a millionaire. I want a millionaire, but all my boyfriends were penniless. In other words, you don't have to listen to what they actually say. You know, if you like a woman, you should go for it, regardless of what her preferences are. Until she says no, until she denies your advances, you should still try. It's kind of like a filter, if you will. Like a lot of jobs do this. They have like unreasonable demands. And people that apply anyway might even get the job even if they don't fit the demands, you know? So like a job can say, oh yeah, we need you to have like 30 years of experience and work for us for a minimum wage. And someone without 30 years of experience that actually wants to work for more applies and still gets the job, right? So it's kind of like this with some women, like they will say, oh yeah, well, I want the man to be a millionaire. And then you have one that, according to her, doesn't make any money, and he tries to seduce her, actually succeeds, and they become in a relationship. The interesting thing, though, is the idea that she doesn't want to work, which I find it quite reasonable. Like, if I lived in a parallel universe where I could find a lady that has big titties and a nice plump ass, and she would just, you know, be perfectly fine with going to work and earning $300,000 a year, and all I have to do is to sit at home and have sex with her, I don't see how that's oppressive. Like, in that isekai universe, I'm sorry, but if those are my opportunity, I would take them, and I think like many men would, right? So now, if you think like that, and you just reverse the gender, you would realize why some women would just prefer this. This is like what feminism taught. It's like, okay, so staying at home and playing with your kids and watching TV all day and doing nothing besides housework, that's oppressive, right? Like, that's the patriarchy, that's misogyny. But going at the office, sitting in the cubicle, crunching for 11 hours a day, for minimum wage possibly, while your boss is setting deadlines and you're stressed, that's liberating, that is very progressive, that is an interesting thing to do. Which obviously is a dream that's being sold to many people, and those who take it realize that they're unhappy. So there's also an interesting study that I see going around on Twitter. I don't know how true it is, but apparently in couples where the man does the housework, they have less sex than the couples where they fit more into the traditional gender roles. So I found that to be really interesting. But anyway, right, a lot of people are taking this absolutely literally. And I do think, like, there are some women that have unrealistic expectations. The way I view it, and I keep mentioning this because it's one of the best comparisons that I can come up with, dating is the same like looking for a job. And it's kind of unreasonable to have like way too high expectations if you're a small company. Like if you're a small company and you have the exact same expectations that Google has, you're not going to find many applicants. So in this situation, if you're going to want the unobtainable, then you're going to get men that lie to you. That is the only solution. Like if you're already starting off as, okay, well, I want like the 0.5% of top tier men in my country, then the only thing you're going to get is liars. Because like men are going to assess what you're interested in. They're going to tell you what you want to hear. And those are the types of men that you're going to get. Because like no one is going to fit your definition. Like the type of men you want can have access to almost any type of women. So the question is like, why would they choose you? Because like when you're thinking about it, you're thinking about the average man, right? So like the average man has limited dating opportunities simply because he's average, right? Like it's very difficult for him to punch above his weight. So if you want like the top tier men, well, they have access to almost any woman that they want, right? Like it's very easy for them to seduce women. In fact, they don't even have to. Like sometimes they just sit there and women contact them. So when that is the case, like why shouldn't he go with the 18-year-old supermodel and choose to go with you? Like they can go with the star, they can go with someone famous, they can go with someone that's from an important family. Like why exactly would they choose you? Like what exactly do you have to offer? Do you have like a strong network that he can use? Do you have like a influential circle of friends? Are you a famous person? And if the answer is no to all of that, then the type of men that you are looking for are out of your league. And if you don't want to choose anyone else, then you're going to end up alone. In this situation, it seems that that's not the case, despite the fact that she's got, delusions, and she even admits to that. She still has a boyfriend, which, according to her, is very ambitious. So it's important not to look at what people are saying, but to look at their actions, right? So on one hand, she's like, oh yeah, I want the guy that makes $300,000, and I want this, and I want that. But she settled for someone that doesn't, and I think like that's the most important takeaway from here. And to a lesser degree, this is true about men as well. Like there are many men that would say, oh yeah, well obviously, I want the woman that's thin, she's got the hourglass figure, she's got big booba, and she's got like the plump tushy. And then they settle for something with a pulse. Like as long as she has a pulse. I know many such cases. So don't listen to what people say, especially when there's a microphone and a camera rolling, because they're going to be trying to be funny, trying to be the next Haktua girl. And a lot of people are sharing this, thinking that it's gospel, like it's the truth. But they're not looking at the facts, they're just looking at what these ladies are saying. So let me know what you think, and as usual, I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.